My speech will begin in 1, 2, 3. Disasters happen frequently all over the world, taking homes and life of innocent people and innocent animals in danger. Therefore, an effective and reasonable solution should be implemented to face said disasters. That's why I am standing here as the first speaker of the proposition team in support of the motion. In areas prone to disasters, this House believes that states should prioritize disaster mitigation over relocation. This debate is about how solving the problem from the core, i.e. disaster mitigation, is more important than solving the problem on a surface level, i.e. relocation. Before I get to my main arguments and the main points of my arguments, I will deliver the characterization of the proposition side. There will be 3 main points that I'll be delivering. First is areas that are prone to disasters, means areas where disasters happen frequently or areas that has a higher chance of facing said disasters. Number 2 is disaster mitigation. Disaster mitigation means that preventative actions that will be taken before these disasters that will reduce the effects that is caused by those disasters. While the third point, which is relocation, means removing communities that have lived in those areas that are prone to disasters. And now I'm going to deliver my main arguments. The first argument that I'll be delivering is that by prioritizing disaster mitigation over relocation will put ecological and mental pressure to the host areas in which the relocated citizens will live in. What I mean by that is that a lot of the people and the citizens in these host areas will have to do a lot of adaptation to the sudden boost of population because the relocation of the citizens that are living in areas that are prone to disasters. This will not only put mental strain on the citizens, but this will also cause ecological stress because not only the people need to do a lot of adaptation, but also the ecological will also need to do a lot of adaptation. This means that if we implement prioritizing disaster mitigation over relocation, we are moving the problem somewhere else instead of letting locals adapt to the areas in which they originate from. The second point that I'll be delivering is that relocation is putting cultures from areas that are prone to disasters at risk. What I mean by that is when we relocate these people, they are leaving their childhood homes. They are leaving the place where they have spent most of their life, where they have processed all of their culture, all of the things they learned most of their life. They're going to leave it behind. But most importantly, they are leaving their cultural traditions behind, but they could also be leaving important cultural landmarks behind that could be useful for the future generation. Therefore, this puts their culture at risk. While prioritizing disaster mitigation over relocation allows communities to remain on ancestral land while also feeling safe and protected by the mitigations and actions that are taken from the state. The third one, and my most important one, is that this does not apply to all disasters. What I mean by that is prioritizing relocation over mitigation does not apply to all disasters. Let's take COVID-19 for example. Pandemic is one of the examples of a disaster. If we focus more on relocation instead of disaster mitigation, that means we are only going to widespread the spread of COVID-19 virus. While if we do disaster mitigations, that means we are trying to find a solution into how we could minimize the spread of COVID-19. But if we implement relocation, that will only put danger into other people. That's why we should find the solution to the core instead of moving the problem somewhere else. Our argument is more important because we not only face the problem head on, but we also find a solution for it. Therefore, we will win this debate in the issue for first, we are putting the host cities and the people who are living in those host cities and in consideration. Two, we'll be focused on keeping culture alive. And the third one is that we are stating the obvious, which is relocation does not apply to all disasters.